Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're discussing our transfer plans coming into Game Week 35 of FPL. After the first round of matches have been played for double Game Week 34, we have a bit more information on what players we want to target and what players we want to get out of our sides. As always, drop a like and subscribe. We are trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of this season, so please help us reach that goal. And of course, have those notification bells turned on so you don't miss any future transfer plans videos and other related FPL videos for the rest of the season. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So first up, let's have a look at how the side has gone on so far in double Game Week 34, discuss a couple of weak points in the team and some players that we are looking to move on, and then we will propose some replacements for those players. Overall, a really good week for us to start actually. We're positioned inside the top 86,000 managers for this individual game week, so it has been a really good start for double Game Week 34 for us, and of course we still have so many players still to play. 9 fixtures still left, as we did have 9 double Game Week players for double Game Week 34 without having to take any hits. Up until this point, 72 points right now. I do think this would be our highest FPL score of the season, just based on how well we've gone so far this week. The triple Manchester United, first of all, I just wanted to touch on those guys. Absolutely massive. Each of De Gea, Luke Shaw, and Marcus Rashford all provided returns for our side. I'm really happy that I decided to go for double Manchester United defence. A lot of people were discussing Ederson, Alisson as a good goalkeeper option. Both of those guys didn't get a clean sheet compared to De Gea, which did. I was talking about him a lot in our live stream. If you were tuning into that live stream, I was discussing the best way to play Manchester United, whether I wanted to go double up on their attack with Rashford and Fernandes, or go with their defenders, a double up in Luke Shaw and De Gea. Obviously, Fernandes did put up a good points return on his first fixture, but nonetheless, Luke Shaw with a clean sheet and bonus point, as well as De Gea with a clean sheet. Still very happy with those guys, so I'm glad that I still have those options in defense. Stupinian as well, really good. He could have had so many more points though. Very frustrating being a Stupinian owner this week, as despite scoring 9 points in his first fixture, he should have had 18. He should have had a goal, could have easily had 2 goals as well, and of course if he did score any one of his one-on-one chances, he would have picked up 3 bonus points. So a bit frustrating, as he did have a really good chance to put up a mega haul against Wolves at home and Brighton 6-0 win. He was still very impressive though. I'm liking his attacking runs that he's making. And throughout at the defense, Kieran Trippier, the only defender not to pick up a clean sheet for us this week, just at 2 points at home to Southampton. I was a bit annoyed by that, as I was very hopeful for a Newcastle clean sheet in this game. Nonetheless, they couldn't produce it, but not to worry though, as Trippier has such a high ownership amongst the top FPL managers in the game, so not too much stress there. Mainly happy that Stupinian, Shaw and De Gea, as my more differential defenders, were able to provide returns. In the midfielders, there was only Rashford and Salah that picked up an assist for Rashford and a goal for Mo. He did convert his penalty. I was stressing watching Mo Salah take that penalty, praying that he at least just hit the target. And finally, after having Salah for his 2 missed penalties, I have him for his converted penalty. 7 points, a really good return against probably the harder fixture in his double game week of Spurs at home. Next up, he's got Fulham at home, which is a really good chance for more points for Mo Salah. Matoma, March, Andreas all did blank in midfield. Currently, Andreas is flagged. I highly doubt that he's going to be back for that Liverpool fixture, just considering that he was stretched off in that game for Fulham. And the 2 lads up top, Kane and Haaland, both produced 8 points. Haaland on triple captaincy, very happy with him, and I'm glad that I opted to choose Kane as one of my starters over Henry, Botman and Watkins, who are all on the bench. I was tossing up who to play for that position, whether I wanted to drop down to just the 1 forward with Haaland and play 4 defenders at the back, or maybe go for Watkins over Kane as well, as obviously Kane had that single game week fixture. Wasn't the best fixture as well, Liverpool away, definitely not the easiest, but Kane, clinical, took his chance, got himself a couple of bonus points as well, so very happy with Harry Kane. And a lot of people, around 700,000, have triple captain Erling Haaland. I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts on what you thought of his first fixture of the double game week. Yes, 8 points is nice, but it was a really good chance for Haaland to score even more. Jack Grealish obviously hit the crossbar from Erling Haaland assist. That would have given him 9 more points on triple captaincy. So I feel like he could have had a lot more FPL points in this game. Leno made a really good save to his near post as well. That could have easily gone in, given Haaland another goal. So despite it being nice that he's got himself 8 points, it could have been so much more. West Ham at home, there's a really good chance on triple captaincy as well. well as the second fixture of his double game week. So looking at the squad right now, there are a couple of players that I'm not quite happy with in my team. Most of these players are on the bench this week. It's Ramsdale, Rico Henry, and Watkins. Botman, I'm still happy with right now just because Newcastle still have that extra double, whereas Ramsdale, Henry, and Watkins don't. And I think I want to downgrade these players to be able to afford another upgraded player in midfield, whether that's Jack Grealish from Man City. He had a couple of really good chances for them in their most recent fixture. Unlucky not to walk away with some FPL points in that one. So potentially now, especially since Andreas has picked up that injury, he's a player that I could look to upgrade to Jack Grealish, but which we'll see as dropping down Watkins, dropping down Ramsdale, potentially dropping down Henry as well. Watkins also a player that I think is now at the right time to get rid of him. His fixtures aren't the best for the rest of the season, and there are a couple of forwards that have been in really good form recently that I wanted to discuss as a potential Watkins replacement around that Game Week 36 time. So let's discuss those right now. So initially, I was just planning to roll the transfer for Game Week 35, have 2 free transfers available for Game Week 36, where we were going to look to bring in more Man City players. But with the recent Kevin De Bruyne injury and Mo Salah getting himself yet another goal, I'm not too sure I'm going to continue with this move. Obviously, we'll see a little bit more how it plays out across the rest of Game Week 34 and Game Week 35 as well. But the initial move was to drop Salah down to De Bruyne, get him in for Man City's double ahead of Game Week 37. Also look to bring in Jack Grealish for Andreas Pereira. That move could definitely still be the case here if we wanted to downgrade Watkins. He was a player that I was looking to downgrade anyway, just because, as you can see here, Isak, Wilson, Jota, 3 forwards with some good fixtures coming up. Obviously, Isak and Wilson with the doubles. Those 2 forwards have been on excellent form recently for Newcastle, both scoring over 20 points in their last 3 fixtures. So I think now, coming into Game Week 36, probably won't make this transfer Game Week 35, but around 36, I think it's going to be a good chance to jump on either Isak or Wilson. I'm still undecided right now to capitalize on their double gaming for Ollie Watkins. That frees up a little bit of money. If I get an Isak, I believe I have over 1 mil in the bank, similar as well with Wilson, as they are a very, very similar price. If I drop down Ramsdale as well, that gives me a little bit extra money. Maybe drop him down to a Verson, like a minimum price keeper. Potentially drop down Henry as well. Then look to getting Grealish Game Week 37. All those moves could be made. So it could be Watkins down to either Isak, Wilson. Those are probably my 2 favourite replacements. Jota, a little bit expensive. I'm not too sure about his minutes. Came off the bench in his first fixture of the double game week. Yes, he got himself a goal, which was really nice to see for him, and he is a very clinical player. But as you can see by that fixture, there's going to be a bit of rotation in that Liverpool side. Obviously, Luis Diaz is there. Darwin Núñez is always there as well. He's always a threat for taking away Jota's minutes. So for now, Isak and Wilson are the 2 players that I'm really looking forward to getting either one of them for Game Week 36 for Newcastle's double game week. It's probably going to be roll the transfer in Game Week 35. If I was just to compare Isak and Wilson now, the underlying numbers are fairly similar. Callum Wilson's stats have absolutely skyrocketed though over recent game weeks, and their per 90 stats are also extremely solid amongst players that have played over 1,050 minutes this season. First of all, touching on Isak, 10 goals and 1 assist on the year. Arsenal at home, Game Week 35, as I touched on. I'm not going to bring him in this week, probably Game Week 36. His XG 7.15, XA 1.77. His XG figure does rank 7th highest amongst players this season per 90. That is players that have played at least 1,000 minutes this year. 7th highest for expected goals per 90 is a pretty good number considering that he's just 6.9 mil, and there are a lot of expensive forwards that are above him on that list. One of them is actually Callum Wilson as well. He does have the 2nd highest expected goals per 90 out of any player in the Premier League that has played 1,000 minutes this year, only behind Erling Haaland. It's sitting at around 0.74, 0.75, which is extremely high. Obviously, he's not as nailed for minutes in my opinion as Isak. That's probably why I like Isak slightly more, just because especially in recent game weeks, he's been getting more minutes, but there's no doubt Callum Wilson has been the more efficient when he's been on the pitch. He's taken his chances, he's getting lots of chances, had an XG of 2.37 in his last match for Newcastle, which is absolutely monstrous for any player to have in a single game week. He's now notched up 15 goals in the season. He's scored 5 goals in his last 3 matches for Newcastle, been in blistering form. He's combined it with 5 assists as well. Underlying stats are really good, XG of nearly 13. As I touched on, his 2nd highest expected goals per 90 is some really good stats for Wilson, a player that I haven't seen too much discussion about it, just a 4.7% ownership. Most of the focus has been on Isak, just because he's been the player that's getting more minutes. But maybe I look to go for Callum Wilson. He's a bigger differential. Yes, he's a bigger minutes risk in place of Isak, but he's getting more chances than Isak when he's on the field. Even when he's only playing 20, 30 minutes, sometimes 45, he is outscoring Isak, and that has been the case for the last 3 game weeks, as Callum Wilson has scored 30 FPL points over his last 3 games, averaging obviously 10 per game, so that's really, really good for Wilson. Isak, on the other hand, still has been contributing FPL points, 21 points in fact for him across his last 3 games, averaging 7, not too far off Callum Wilson. So 2 forwards in really good form. Newcastle giving them so many chances. Isak's also creating chances, got himself an assist in the most recent game as well. Wilson's been there to finish off those chances. So I think I'm going to have to use a little bit more information on how Game Week 35 plays out before I look to choose either Isak or Wilson for my Game Week 36 team. But there's no doubt that those 2 players are my top 2 transfer targets for Watkins replacements for the rest of the season. Also in Game Week 36, if I drop down Watkins to either one of these guys, I may look to make another further downgrade that could potentially be sold to De Bruyne if De Bruyne is all good, as that will free up a net extra 0.8. The sellers coming in at 13 mil right now, so that frees up even more money. That's 2 free transfers used. Coming into Game Week 37 then, I could potentially take a hit, get rid of Ramsdale, drop him down to a Verson, then upgrade Andreas Pereira to Grealish, have triple Man City, also a double Man City, should I say, for their double game. It could be the way forward. Jack Grealish obviously getting a lot of chances for them. Also, just touching on Diogo Jota as well, he is a potential Watkins replacement. As I said before, he is a bit of a minutes risk, just the 4 points in his first fixture of the double. So despite scoring, he obviously came on very late, also got that yellow card. I said on the live stream I did a couple of days ago for the deadline for double game at 34, I think Jota could be one of the biggest FPL trolls for the rest of the year. A lot of hype building around him. He's seen a decent increase in price, nearly at 9 mil now. His ownership's not massive at 5.4%, but he is a lot more popular amongst the top 1 mil managers. I'm not sure he's going to get those consistent minutes for the rest of the season, and at nearly 9 mil, I don't think he's quite worth that price, especially since now Liverpool don't have any other double game weeks for the rest of the year. They do have some pretty good single game week fixtures, but I want to target the teams with the double game weeks, which is those Newcastle assets, and they probably have the 2 most inform forward picks right now at that price in FPL in Isak and Wilson that I do want to go after. Thanks for watching today's transfer plans for Game Week 35. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of the season, so please try and help us reach that goal. As always, have the notification bells turned on. There's going to be plenty more FPL videos coming your guys' way as we wrap up the FPL season and push to get our best possible rank, hopefully inside the top 100k, potentially even further. It's been a really good start for us, double Game Week 34, so hopefully you guys can end the season well as well. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.